Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are all doing awesome. Am I loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how about my presentation? Do you see it clearly?
Yes po.
Okay, I have already started recording our meeting. And let me ask, how's everyone? How are you, Kendra?
Thank you, ma'am, for asking, and I am great.
Okay. Do you have any new things that you've tried during this vacation?
Oh, I've been trying to cook some dishes ever since this pandemic hit, but during school days, I did not have much time to do that. But this vacation, this short break that we have, I've been watching YouTube videos for recipes, and then I will try.
All right, that's interesting. I am also trying to learn new dishes in this school break. How about you, Shermena? How are you? Did you have or did you go any trip recently?
Oh, yes, ma'am. So before the ECQ started, the last trip that we have is in Antipolo. Like we had our breakfast with my friends because this vacation I truly love eating. I enjoy eating and traveling as well. But since a new um ECQ again came, so we have to stay safe and stay healthy and stay at home.
All right, that's good to know that you're having a good time with your friends. I myself would also like to go on a trip, yet our community quarantine restricts us to do so. Let's stay at home, just like what you said, and keep ourselves safe from pandemic disease. Okay, before we start, kindly check yourselves and your places. Be sure to make your study area clean and free from any distraction so you can focus more on our lesson. Are we good on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for the responses. In addition to that, here are our simple classroom reminders. First, kindly utilize the raise hand button that you have on the lower part of your screen if you wish to speak. Then, turn on your microphone once your name is acknowledged. And if your microphone has technical difficulties or issues at the moment, maximize the use of our chat box. Are we clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Today is August 28, 2021, and it's 10:30 on my clock. I have two attendees on my Google Meet, and I know that you're more than excited to learn a new lesson for today. But first, let's have a short game. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mena. I think you are already familiar with this game. This game is popular with TikTok. Some TikTok influencers use different challenge or questions in doing this game. This is none other than put a finger down. Do you have any idea on how this game works? Kendra, do you have any idea on how this game works?
Yes, ma'am. I am familiar with that game. So
Okay.
there is a question being asked, and then if you have, then you will put your finger down.
Okay, you got it right. Simple as that. Teacher Karen will give example scenarios and you just have to put your finger down if you agree or have already experienced that scenario. If I may ask, okay, you are already turned on your camera. That's good so that I can see you whenever you put your finger down. Do you have any questions so far about our game?
None so far,
None so
ma'am.
far.
Okay, thank you so much. Please refrain me if I kept looking on the side because I'm using my phone to see your responses. Okay, let's start with our game. This game have 6 items, so you need to raise your 6 fingers. Okay, then put the finger down if I have read many books during this vacation. No one is putting their finger down. Oh, I saw Sharmena. I saw you put your finger down, Mena. Are you fond of reading books? Is that a childhood hobby or um?
So I put a finger down because this month like I challenged myself to read like 3 books before this month's end, and the good thing is I've done it with some friends. Like we challenge to read this kind of book, and then after we can go ahead and share some thoughts. And this is not like a childhood hobby. I'll just love it when I high school. That's the time that I fell in love in reading. That's why I put
Okay,
my finger down.
that's good to hear that you found an activity that you can enjoy with your friends even we are restricted to stay at home. It's interesting. How about you, Kendra?
I did not put my finger down because I am currently reading a book. So I'm not yet finished with this one book. It is entitled A Keeper. So yeah, I'm currently reading that book.
Okay, that's all right. Thanks for sharing with me. Let's proceed with the next one. Put a finger down if I have experienced hiking with friends and I had so much fun. Have you experienced hiking? So none. I can see no one putting their finger down. So I should put my finger down. I experienced hiking before when the community quarantine is not that restrict people from visiting places. We visit the second highest fall in Doña Remedios, Trinidad de Talon. We hike with friends and with the uncles of my friend. Okay, let's proceed with the next one. Put a finger down if I have lots of time to rest in this school break. If you have lots of time to rest in this school break, put a finger down. Okay. Mena is putting her finger down. May I ask why?
So I think I have lots time to rest compared before, because I think I slept 8 hours this vacation unlike before. So I think I have
Okay.
lots time to rest.
That's good to know. We have lots of time in this school vacation and we can take advantage of it to rest. And Kendra did not, or you put your finger down, Kendra. Did you put your finger down in this statement?
Yes, ma'am. At first, I was very hesitant if I should put my finger down because I am quite unsure. But then, because
Okay.
we are in a short break, then we have a lot of time to rest.
That's good. Remember that our health is wealth. So if we can rest, rest. Okay. Next is statement. I love taking a lot of photographs when visiting a new place. Okay, both of you have put your finger down. I myself would also love taking a lot of photographs when visiting a new place. Next, put a finger down if you have tried to change your lifestyle and trying to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. Have you tried changing your lifestyle and eat only plenty of fresh fruit? So, no one. I think no one from both of you. That's all right. Next one. I know a great deal of information about the history of Bulacan. We all live in Bulacan. So, do you have a great deal of information about the history of Bulacan? Okay, three fingers are still a rise. Okay, that's all right. We can still learn more information if we have opportunity to do so. I myself, I know I have surface knowledge about history of Bulacan. So how many fingers do you have left standing, Mena? Three fingers. How about you, Kendra? Same. Three fingers. Okay, it was a good start. Thank you for participating in our short game. You may now turn off your camera so it won't consume too much of data. Very good, girls. I am happy with the experiences that you've shared. Now, I would like to ask you to take a look on the sentences and what have you noticed about the given sentences we have? Let me read them again for you. I have read many books during this vacation. I experienced hiking with friends and I had so much fun. I have lots of time to rest in this school break. I love taking a lot of photographs when visiting a new place. I am changing my lifestyle and I am trying to eat plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables. I know a great deal of information about the history of Bulacan. What have you observed? Kendra, what have you observed?
Um, aside from the sentences, show activities. Yeah, these are the things that we might experience. The sentences I think usually have a subject I, or I think it is more personal in simple words.
All right, nice observation. All of these sentences is started with I, and it is much personal because it talks about the experiences that we might have. The okay, what else? What else can you notice with these sentences? How about you? How about you, Mena?
So aside from those are related to our vacation, I noticed as well that the sentences all have either countable or uncountable nouns.
Okay, these sentences have countable or uncountable nouns. Can you point them out for me?
Those are books, fun, time, photographs, fruit and vegetable, and lastly the information.
All right, very good. I underlined them for you. The word books, photographs, fruit, and vegetables are all countable noun, and the words fun, time, and information are all uncountable noun. From these sample words, sample nouns, how do we differentiate countable from uncountable noun? Who would like to share? How can we determine if a noun is countable or a noun is uncountable? Yes, Kendra?
Countable nouns or count nouns are those that refer for something that can be counted, while anything that cannot be counted is an uncountable nouns or non-count nouns.
Okay, you are correct. Anything that cannot be counted is an uncountable noun, while those nouns that we can count are count nouns. Glad to know that you still remember what countable and uncountables are. Okay, let me ask you this question. For you, what makes a beautiful place? How can you say that a place is a beautiful place? Mena? Okay.
For me, since I love nature, for me, I consider a beautiful place those greenery, good landscapes, beautiful statues, and colorful flowers.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Points to consider if a place is a beautiful place. How about you, Kendra? What makes a beautiful place for you?
Hmm, for me, what makes a beautiful place? It has a good culture, entertainment, and lifestyle. It is also aesthetic and outdoor activities.
Okay, same with my interest. I would also love to visit a place with a lot of things to offer. And if you would be given a chance to travel in a different country, what country and tourist spot would you like to visit and why? Yes, yes, Mena.
First, I love that question, and the place that I would like to visit is the busiest crossing in Japan.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am, the Shibuya crossing, because it is best known for the incredible scramble that occurs every time in the traffic lights. Whenever it turns red, so stopping all vehicles in every direction to allow a huge wave of pedestrians to flood into the intersection for a few moments.
yes, that's interesting place to visit. I would also love to visit Shibuya crossing. A lot of celebrities are taking pictures in that crossing. So who would not want to visit Shibuya crossing, right? How about you, Kendra?
Hello?
Yes, Kendra. I can hear you, Ken.
Okay. Um, from that question, I forgot the city or the specific city, but I would like to visit that city in Morocco. That is where my favorite K drama was filmed, The Vagabond. Aside from that, it is a city that is known for its rich architecture and fascinating history.
Yes, soon we'll be able to visit those places that we'd love to. And we should never stop dreaming because it's free. All right. And thank you for your answers. I myself would also like to visit tourist spots in the future. I asked those questions because today we are going to talk about a city. It is called Cape Town. But before that, let me present to you our objectives for today. Mena, would you like to read our objectives for today?
So the objectives is in the progress of this lesson, you are expected to first identify countable and uncountable nouns. Second, identify quantifiers in the given text. Third, much appropriate quantifiers to countable and uncountable nouns. And lastly, use quantifiers correctly in dialogue.
All right, thank you. So, this is Cape Town. It is located in South Africa. I will present to you the story and I will read the first paragraph first, followed by the second paragraph, which will be read by Shermana, and the last paragraph is going to be for Kendra. Are we clear on that? So we can have a simultaneously reading with the story. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Cape Town. Let me read first. Cape Town. Cape Town is home to many different cultures. A lot of people from several African and European countries have settled at the southern tip of Africa. Some people for business reasons, and others simply for the beauty. Many tourists visit the mother city every year.
A visit to Cape Town is guaranteed to include a lot of fun. There are many fascinating restaurants that serve a variety of interesting cuisines. There are plenty of pubs and nightclubs, and for those who want a bit of peace, there are a few outdoor activities like mountain hikes, picnics in the botanical gardens, or on the many beaches. For the brave, there are plenty of extreme activities such as cave diving with sharks, skydiving, and the bungee jumping.
It is a fact that there is a lot of crime everywhere in South Africa, but the police have been working hard to fight crime. In Cape Town, plenty of Time and a great deal of effort have been dedicated to bring several systems in place, like the training and employment of lots of policemen and security guards who patrol the streets at night, and the installation of a few security cameras in the city center. Sometimes there is too much focus on the crime, and the media doesn't always pay much attention to the good things that people do to overcome the problems. Anyone who spends even just a little time in Cape Town wants to return. It is a colorful city and well worth visiting.
All right, that's the story of Cape Town. So I have prepared here questions that we will answer. The first question is, how did the author describe the Cape Town? Based on what we've read, how did the author describe the Cape Town? Yes, Mena.
I think in the story, Cape Town was described as a home to many different cultures.
Yes, you got it right. The author used a home to many different cultures to describe the Cape Town. Then, who are the people settled at the southern tip of Africa and for what reason? Kendra?
Yes, ma'am. Um, I think for beauty and for business reasons, a lot of people from several African and European countries have settled at the Cape Town.
Yes, you will surely experience different culture in Cape Town since several, as mentioned in the story, several African and European countries chose to settle in that city. And what can the tourists expect when they visit Cape Town? What are the reasons you found in the story to visit Cape Town? There are a lot of reasons mentioned in the story, and I know you have some. Mena?
Yes, ma'am. I noticed that tourists and visitors are guaranteed to experience so much fun, and also they have a few local cultures and a lot of national cultures, as well as they would experience many fascinating restaurants that serve a variety of cuisines.
All right. Aside from those mentioned, what are the reasons that you found to visit Cape Town, Kendra?
I think it has been mentioned that they can also visit many beaches to explore plenty of extreme activities. And me, myself, I love extreme activities. But then, all right, so this is just my sharing. So then I am not able to experience anymore these extreme activities.
All right, I got you with that, Kendra. And also in the story of Cape Town, it is also mentioned that there are plenty of pubs and nightclubs. And also, a lot of crime were also reported in South Africa. What do the people in this community do to guarantee safety for the tourists and residents? Kendra, based on the story that we've read, what do you think they do to guarantee safety?
A plenty of time and a great deal of effort, such as installing security cameras, were performed in the city. So this is that there are ways to guarantee safety for the tourist.
All right, that's correct. You've mentioned correct information. They have also included that sometimes there is too much focus on the crime and the media does not always pay much attention to the good things. They also reinforce lots of policemen who patrol the streets at night. I am glad that you were able to answer these sentences about Cape Town. It is and evident that you understand the story about Cape Town. So, with the reasons that you've mentioned to visit Cape Town, I collected them, and these are the sentences I've found. Let me read them again. Tourists and visitors are guaranteed to experience so much fun. They would experience many fascinating restaurants that serve a variety of cuisines. They have a few local cultures and a lot of national cultures. They reinforce lots of policemen who patrol the streets at night. There are plenty of pubs and nightclubs, a plenty of time, and a great deal of effort, such as installing security cameras, were performed in the city. In these sentences, what have you observed? There's too much information, right? No worries. I will highlight the important words here in this sentence. Okay, Kendra, will you please read the highlighted words?
Yes, ma'am. So the highlighted words are much, many, a lot of, lots of, plenty of, a great deal of.
Okay, what do you think are the usage of these words in these sentences? What are the purpose of these words in in these sentences? Excuse me.
I'll try. So, I think these words are placed before nouns.
Close enough. You got it right. These words are placed before nouns to describe the quantity of the noun. If these words describe the quantity of the noun, in which part of speech do you think these words belong? Are these words adverbs or adjectives?
Um, I think these words are adjectives, ma'am.
Ah, yes, correct. These are adjectives and or adjective phrases that go before nouns, and they give information about how much or how many of an item you are talking about. Do you know what do we call to these words? Okay, that's all right. Let me reveal the answer. These words are called quantifiers. Much, many, a lot of, lots of, plenty of, and a great deal of are example of quantifiers. So, what is quantifier? Mena, would you like to read what is quantifier?
Quantifier. A quantifier is a word that usually goes before a noun to express the quantity of the object.
Yes, the quantifiers are very important words because they let us to express the quantity of something, especially the noun next to these words. There are several quantifiers in English, and they can be really tricky to use. Since we've learned that these words are classified as adjectives, adjectives are words that describe noun or pronoun, right? A descriptive text was able to help us understand more the usage of these different types of quantifiers. This is the main reason why we read Cape Town, the story of Cape Town. Okay, let's dig deeper. Let's start with much versus many. Let's study these sentences mentioned in the text. Mena, would you like to read the sentences?
Number one, they would experience many fascinating restaurants that serve a variety of cuisines. Second, they can also visit many beaches to explore plenty of extreme activities.
All right. All right. What can you infer with these sentences, Mena?
Mm, I think both of the sentences have many as their quantifier.
All right. You got it correct. Both of the sentences have many to express the quantity of the noun next to it. Aside from that, what can you observe? How about the noun?
Then nouns are all in their plural form and all are countable nouns.
What are the nouns mentioned in these sentences?
The nouns that was mentioned is restaurants and beaches.
Okay, very good. Let's study this form. Many plus countable plural noun plus plural verb. We use many if the noun is countable. It is only used with countable plural nouns, and you must also remember that we tend to use many with questions or negative statements. Alright, let me repeat the form. Many plus countable plural plus plural verbs. Do you have any questions with the use of many?
None so far, ma'am.
None, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Moving forward with this next set of sentences, this can also be found in the text. Tourists and visitors are guaranteed to experience so much fun. They have also mentioned that sometimes there is too much focus on the crime. The media does not always pay much attention to the good things. Observe the use of the quantifier much in these sentences. What can you infer, Kendra?
By observing the nouns next to the quantifier much, I think we use much to express the quantity of uncountable nouns. Fun, focus, and attention are all uncountable nouns.
Very good. Fun, focus, attention are all uncountable nouns. Very good observation. We use much if the noun is uncountable or non countable. For much, uncountable nouns always take the singular verb. It is only used with uncountable singular nouns. Let us remember this form. Much, all right, I'm sorry. Much plus uncountable nouns plus singular verbs. Do you have any questions with how to use much as quantifier?
None, ma'am.
None,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, that's good. And remember this. Use much if the noun is non countable. Use many if the noun is countable. This is basically the main difference of much and many. Much is for uncountable and many is for countable. Do you have any questions for that?
None so
None so
far.
far, ma'am.
Okay, none so far. Thank you. Let's proceed with a lot of versus lots of. How about this next set of sentences? These sentences are also found in the text Cape Town. Will you please read, Kendra?
They have a few local cultures and a lot of natural cultures. Second, they reinforce lots of policemen who patrol the streets at night.
What are the quantifiers mentioned in these sentences, Kendra?
I have noticed that the quantifiers used are a lot of and lots of.
Okay, very good observation. The quantifiers used in these two sentences are a lot of and lots of. What type of nouns are used in the sentences if we use this a lot of and lots of?
Countable nouns, ma'am.
All right, countable nouns. Are you sure? We also have here example sentence about culture in the sentence number 1. Therefore, what can you conclude?
Um, I think a lot of and the next one is lots of can be used in both count nouns and non-count nouns.
All right, that's correct. Lot of and lots of can be used both in countable and uncountable nouns. Can you read the definition on the screen, Mena?
A lot of versus lots of. A lot of and lots of have the same meaning and can be used both in countable and uncountable noun. They can also signify a large measure or quantity of a noun.
All right, you read it right. This is what we are saying earlier. A lot of and lots of can be used both in countable and uncountable nouns. So these phrases are acceptable. A lot of sugar, lots of sugar. A lot of people, lots of people. A lot of rules, lots of rules. But how do they differ, Mom Karen? Um, there are things that we need to remember about the use of a lot of, and lots of. Please read, Kendra, the form that we used.
When we use a lot of, lots of, plus countable plural, the verb should be in plural. The sample sentence, there are a lot of rules in English grammar.
All right, the noun here in the sentence is rules, isn't? And it is in plural form. So therefore, the verb that we must use according to the form that we need to follow, should also be in plural verb. That's why you can see here the word in color green are is a plural verb. Another one, when we use a lot of and lots of and singular in a singular countable, we must take singular verb. Like, let us look on this example sentence. There is a lot of sugar in this cake. Sugar is known to be uncountable noun, right? And it is always in singular. Then the verb that we should use in this sentence must also be in singular form, just like what the rule is recommending us to do. We need to focus more here on how the noun is presented, if it is singular or plural. If singular, the verb must be in singular. If plural, the verb must be in plural. Do you have any questions about a lot of versus lots of? Am I too fast?
No, ma'am, we got it.
All right. Thank you for the confirmation, Mena. So I assume we're gonna move forward with the next quantifier. Plenty of, a plenty of. There are plenty of pubs and nightclubs. A plenty of time have been dedicated to bring several systems in place to ensure safety. What can you notice with these sentences? These are also mentioned in the text Cape Town. What quantifier is used? Yes, Mena?
These sentences use plenty of as a quantifier.
All right. But what type of nouns are used in these sentences? Pubs and nightclubs. And the other one, you use time. What?
That that
Yes,
is an uncountable, ma'am.
uncountable noun. Are you sure? Do the words pubs and nightclubs uncountable? All right. No worries. This a plenty of quantifier can be also used in both countable and uncountable noun. Same with lots of or a lot of, plenty of signifies enough and more than enough of a noun. This can be used both in countable or uncountable noun. We can follow this usual form in using plenty of. Plenty of plus countable nouns plus plural verb. Plenty of rooms are painted with pink in their vacation house. We mentioned earlier that plenty of can be used in both. countable and uncountable. In this sentence, we have rooms as our noun, and it is in what form of noun? Plural or singular? The word rooms. It is in,
Plural form.
yes, correct, Kendra. This is in plural form. So we must take the plural form, plural verb. That's why the word in color green here are shows plural. Okay, do you have questions so far with this form? Plenty of plus countable noun plus plural verb.
None, ma'am. Everything is clear.
Okay, thank you, Kendra. The next form that we must remember, plenty of plus uncountable noun plus singular verb. In this sample sentence, plenty of practice is the key for success. Practice is, as we all know, it must be uncountable noun. So the verb should be singular verb because uncountable nouns are always in singular form. Singular uncountable nouns must take singular verb. Are we clear with this form?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Plenty of plus countable noun plus plural verb. Plenty of plus uncountable noun plus singular verb. Last quantifier for today, a great deal of. We also have found sentence in the story of Cape Town that use a great deal of. This would be our last sample sentence. Will you please read, Kendra?
A great deal of effort, such as installing security cameras, were performed in the city.
Okay, what can you conclude in the sentence? What can you observe, Kendra?
I from this sentence, I think. Oh, all right. So I noticed that it used the quantifier a great deal of as a quantifier of the nouns.
And what noun does it quantify in this sentence? Is it countable or uncountable noun?
It is uncountable noun.
Okay, that should be the word effort, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. A great deal of is used to quantify the uncountable noun effort. Very good. A great deal of is a quantifier that is used to express a large amount or quantity of something. This can only be used with uncountable noun, just like what we mentioned earlier. Shermana, can you give me an example sentence with a great deal of?
Sure, ma'am. So my example is this book requires a great deal of concentration.
All right, you use a great deal of to quantify, excuse me, to quantify concentration, and the word concentration is uncountable now. Very good. Again, the quantifiers are used to express the quantity of a noun next to it. And the quantifiers that we found in the given text entitled Cape Town are the following: much, many, a lot of, lots of, plenty of, and a great deal of. I assume that you have understand well the story of Cape Town as well as the use of quantifiers. These are additional information that you must remember. We tend to use much and many in questions or negatives, adding terms like us, so, and to with them can turn the praise into positive one. And the next one, will you please read, Mena?
A lot of and lots of and plenty of are all can be used with both countable and uncountable noun. Just make sure to use a correct verb form with it, and these are commonly used in informal speech.
All right, let's emphasize that a lot of, lots of, and plenty of are all can be used in both countable and uncountable noun. And last one, much, many, and a great deal of. A great deal of are the quantifiers that mostly used in formal speech and writing. Are all the details clear? Do we have questions so far or any clarifications about the quantifiers?
No questions, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Shermana. That's good. So, since that we have assured that all the details are clear with the discussion, I know that you are more you are now excited with the activities. Listen carefully with the instruction. I need you to identify the correct quantifier among the choices to complete the sentence. Anyone can raise their hand through our Google Meet, or you can also type in your answers in our chat box. Are we cool?
Cool, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. Number one, we saw blank animals when we visited Valwartes Zoo in Vegan. What quantifier is the most appropriate in this sentence? Yes, Mena?
The answer is letter A, many.
Yes, awesome, correct. The correct answer in this sentence is many. We saw many animals when we visited Valwarde Zoo in Vegan because animals is countable. Now, next sentence. Would you like to answer, Kendra? Okay.
A coffee shop in Baguio is not fond of adding two blank sugar in my coffee. I think the right quantifier for that is letter B, much.
All right. Let's reveal the answer. You are correct. Much is the right quantifier in this sentence because the noun before the quantifier is sugar, which is uncountable noun. So we must use much to quantify sugar. Next sentence. Would you like the answer again, Mena? Okay.
She's getting blank praise for her talent in singing when she performed in Greece. So the right answer is, I think, letter C, a lot of.
You're correct. The correct answer in this sentence is a lot of. Next one. Dan shows his love for nature in blank ways. What do you think is the correct or the appropriate quantifier in this sentence? Yes, Kendra?
Letter D, ma'am, lots of.
All right. You're correct. The right quantifier in this sentence is lots of. Dan shows his love for nature in lots of way. Second to the last sentence, Mena, would you like to try again?
Sarah offered blank help when she volunteered in our youth camp. And I think the right answer for that is letter F, a great deal of.
Let's see what's the correct quantifier. All right, you got it correct. It means Sarah offered a great deal or a large amount of help when she volunteered in our youth camp. For the last sentence, you and I have blank challenges with our present and future. What do you think is the correct quantifier in this sentence? Yes, Kendra?
Letter E, you and I have plenty of challenges with our present and future.
Okay, you are correct. This sentence implies that they have more than enough challenges with their present and future, so they must hold on to each other. Okay, thank you and congratulations that you got the correct answers for the first six items. And now let's have our next activity. In this activity, you will compose a dialogue. You will need to compose a dialogue that will show the usage of the quantifiers that we discussed. You will work in pair, and I will give you 5 minutes to work on your dialogue. You may use the Google Docs that I will send so we can present the dialogue on our screen later. Are we clear on that?
All clear, ma'am.
Okay, again, this is an activity of composing a dialogue for 5 minutes, and your timer starts now. Okay, time's up. And I know that you have already prepared your dialogue because I am seeing it here now on my Google Docs. So let me share with you this my screen with the dialogue. Okay. Start when you're ready. Do you see it now on my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, start when you're ready.
Okay, so we'll start, ma'am. All right. Hi, Sharmena. How are you? We haven't seen each other for a while.
Hey, Kendra, I'm good. There were many things to do lately, but I am free now and still have a lot of time left. How about you?
That's good to know. I'm doing pretty well. Would you like to have some coffee?
Oh, yeah, sure. Do you know a good coffee place nearby?
Yes, I do. Let's go. Mm, what would you like to order?
I would like to have Frappuccino with just enough sweetness, please, and don't add too much sugar to it.
I would also like to have cafe latte, and please don't add too much milk to it. We'll wait. There are lots of coffee shops here, but this one is the best.
That's great. I have been in States for a while and this street is definitely new to me. So we have had plenty of challenges in our clothing business lately. So this is a great way to unwind.
Oh, you must have a great deal of knowledge about fashion. That's so much nice to know.
Yes, it's challenging, but all worth it.
All right, very good. You have prepared a very good dialogue with the quantifiers that we discussed today. I am seeing here many, a lot of much milk, a lots of coffee, plenty of challenges, a great deal of knowledge. So this can be an evidence that you already gained um, enough knowledge about the use of these quantifiers because you are already able to use them in a dialogue. So proud of you girls. This is a definitely a good work. So let me go back with my presentation. Okay, so I assume that you have already mastered the quantifiers. So let me ask you, what is quantifier? For you, what is quantifier? Okay, Mena.
A quantifier, it is a word that usually goes before a noun to express the quantity of the object.
Some, these are words that we use to express the quantity of something. And what are the quantifiers we discussed today, Kendra?
We discuss quantifiers much, many, a lot of, lots of, plenty of, and a great deal of.
Very good. We discussed much, many, a lot of, lots of, a plenty of, and great deal of. In the text, we use entitled Cape Town. What is the best reason you've got to visit this place? May I hear from Mena?
Yes, aside from the fact that they guarantee visitors to experience so much fun, I would love to visit Cape Town to enjoy many colorful cultures.
All right, that's good to know. How about you, Kendra? What is the best reason you've got?
I would love to visit Cape Town to experience plenty of extreme activities, and I believe they offer too much memories to keep, and memories is the best.
Yes, that's the most important to keep memories whenever we travel or visit a new place to us. And what do you think is the importance of studying quantifiers in our real life? Mena?
So for me, quantifiers are very important words because they let us express the quantity of something. And there are several quantifiers in English, and they can be a little tricky to use, just like what you've mentioned earlier. So, studying them can help us to use the appropriate quantifier.
Absolutely, that's point taken. This help us to avoid any confusion in the future. And let's cross check if we have met our objectives for the day. We have identified countable and uncountable nouns. We have identified quantifiers in the given text. We studied Cape Town as the reference. Third, we match appropriate quantifiers to countable and uncountable nouns in the activity we've done earlier. And you have mastered using quantifiers correctly in a dialogue. So, goals were achieved. And that's all for today. Again, I am Teacher Karen and see you in our next class. Goodbye and thank you for today. You may now leave the Google meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Have
All
a great
right.
day.
All right. Thank you, girls.